This is Charmin with JHC's Result Team, and I'm here to give a high-level introduction of CloudCheckr. So CloudCheckr is a multi-cloud management platform which provides cost management, security, and different kinds of reporting to help users optimize their costs and utilization on AWS environment. So let's get to the demo. When you log into CloudCheckr, the first page that you see is called the projects page, which has a list of all your accounts. So I will be using one of our internal accounts for the demo. Once the page loads, you'll be seeing a list of different modules that are available on your left-hand side, and there is a list of controls available on the top. So the first module that we're seeing is the cost savings module, which demonstrates possible savings that could be done on your AWS environment based on your usage. So it gives us a list of idle resources, unused resources, with the possible monthly savings if you delete or take care of all those resources. It also gives reserved instance purchase recommendations along with more details. Moving on to the next module, which is the best practices module, which is basically it shows the results of the best practices checks that are run on your AWS environment. So it has different categories like security, cost, availability, usage. It pulls the best practice checks from AWS Trusted Advisor as well. So it has different priorities, red being the highest, this should be the medium, and here's the least priority, and these are informational checks. So these are basically computed based on AWS's best practices. So if you want, you can just go in and configure, pay attention to it, and it's not really mandatory. Moving on to the main module of this demo, which is the cost module, which has different functionalities like creating alerts, pulling some reports, and different kinds of custom reporting. So let's get to creating alerts. So you can create an alert, like it provides options for creating different kinds of alerts, but I'm going to show you how to create one particular type of alert. Basically, this is the cost alert where you can specify a budget amount. So we will have to give a name for the alert, and here's where we will have to specify the email that would like to receive notifications on this kind of alert. And here I would go in and enter like $60. So the billing period will be determined by the options in here. So if I want this particular cost to be my daily cost, I would go with daily budget, or if it's monthly, I would go with monthly. But if I want this alert to work for a particular amount of time, this would be the best option. So I will be able to give start date and end date. So I can just specify the cost if the cost is really consistent, and I can like 90% of my budget, and I would need the notification every single day or whenever the alert is triggered. That's really based on your requirements. Also, there is an option to specify this particular alert for multiple accounts. So say you know that for you own 3 accounts, and you know that there's going to be $300 as a total for all those 3 accounts. So that's where you can utilize this. So this is how you create an alert, and then whenever CloudCheckr updates the data from AWS, and then whenever this alert gets triggered, you'll get a notification. Moving on to AWS billing. So this is the billing and cost management dashboard, which gives us the month-to-date spend for that particular month, and it shows the spend for the previous month and also the forecast for the next month. It also has different breakdowns on different services, and if you click the link, it takes you to another page where you can see different details with resource ID, description, and the cost associated with that. I'm gonna show you that next. So we have different kinds of summary reports. I'm going to show you one of them. So basically, the daily report gives us like the previous 7 days' daily spend. So the date is set to today, so I'm seeing the previous 7 days' daily spend on this particular account. So I have it's broken down by day, and also it gives me the month to date spend. Also, I'll be able to see breakdown on different services. As I told you in the previous report, you'll be able to see description on what resources that are run on that particular service, say NAT gateway or Windows T2, EC2 instance, general purpose EBS volumes and stuff like that. So it's really helpful. It's really detailed as possible. So the next report that we are moving on to is the very important report that we use all the time, which is called Advanced Grouping Report with tags. So basically, we will have to specify a time period, and we have different options to, get more granular. So the group by section, it actually determines the column names for your report. So basically, since I know that I have just one account, I'm just going to pull service. I'm just going to replace that. And I need what services run on what regions, so service and region, and I want to know what's actually going on under EC2. So I want to know the usage type. And finally, I want to know the description, which gives me more information. I'm just choosing the cost type, and I'm checking usage quantity, which is the usage hours for EC2 instances, the total used data, amount of data in gigabytes. For storage, so it really depends on what service you use. So that's really helpful for us. And then these are the filters that you can actually apply before you pull the report. So if I want to know all these information only under US East, then I can just click that. I have chosen that, and then I'm gonna click filter. So it basically gives me like a table format report and gives me all the breakdown. Loaded, and I see the breakdown by service, region, usage type. It just gives me what is the resource running, like NAT gateway, EBS volumes, EC2 instances, elastic IP addresses, and so on. It also has the cost associated with it and also the usage quantity. So it's basically the hours for the whole period of time I chose right there. This is pretty useful for people who want to get as granular as they want. Also, we will be able to pull tags from this particular report. So let's say I'm pulling application and auto-scaling group name. And whenever I pull group by tags, I will have to make sure that I've, checked this particular checkbox, because if I don't do that, then the costs that are not associated with these two tags are not being pulled. So it's really important that we check this box. So I'm going to filter this again. And I will be seeing the service and different tags, application tags. So basically, there is no tag, it says none. But if I hadn't checked that box, we wouldn't be pulling all these numbers. It would have been excluded. So, and you're seeing different tag keys for this particular tag. So that's like a sample. And the really cool feature about this report is that you can always save the filter. So say that you want to pull this report like bi-weekly or monthly, you can always go in and click the save filter button and then save it. And whenever you come to CloudCheckr, and if you come to the page, you can always click the drop down and you can just click whatever filter that you've created, and then it automatically loads it for you. You have to just configure the date range that you need to pull the report on. There's also email settings for this particular report, so you can just give a name and you can configure if you need the report daily, weekly, or monthly, and then you can also include the CSV file with the email, so you can just directly download it from your email without you having to log into CloudCheckr and download it manually. So that's everything about this particular report. Moving on to spend analysis, just gives you the spend summary for different kinds of services that are run on your AWS environment. And there is reserve usage. Basically, if you have RIs purchased on your account, you can always go into reserve usage, inventory, and pull the list of reserved instances. I don't believe we have any RIs under this particular account, but I can show you how it looks like. Basically, it gives us all the information like number of RIs, the region it was purchased under, the instance type, size, if it's 1 year or 3 year, if it's all upfront or partial upfront, no upfront, all kinds of information that you will need for a particular RI. So the list of reserved instances page looks like that, and you'll have different kinds of information that are needed. Moving on to tags. So search tags, it automatically pulls all the tags that are enabled on the billing console on AWS, and you'll be able to load the tags in here, and you'll be able to pull them from the previous report I showed you, the advanced grouping report. Also, there's multiple features for that. You can always look up resources associated with the tag, or you can create your own tagging rules, and you'll also be able to pull different resources that are not actually aligning with the tagging rules that you specified under improperly tagged resources. There's other cool features like tag mapping splitting, if you're more interested using tags. And these are the other different modules. Basically, you can just pull different kinds of inventory reports on different services that are being utilized on your AWS environment. There's security, you can create alerts, you can apply compliance configurations, and utilization, you'll be able to pull the CV utilization, the heat map, and everything like that. Also, the final module that I'm going to be discussing with you is the account settings, and that should be available only for the administrators. So this portion is very important, because by doing this, you are allowing CloudCheckr to have read-only access to your AWS environment to collect all the different kinds of metadata like CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and especially the reservation information. So when you don't do this, you will not be able to get the reservation information from the inventory, and the cost might not be accurate. So we highly recommend you to configure this. So basically, it's pretty straightforward. You will have to log into your AWS account, this particular account, and this is really specific for each particular account associated in CloudCheckr. So just log into that particular account, and then you'll have to create a CloudFormation stack, and then you'll have to use the external ID provided in here, and you'll create the role, and basically you have to get the role ARN and paste it in here, and then update. Once you update, it takes probably up to 24 hours to link and pull all the information, and once it's set up, you will have all the information like savings module, best practices checks, and reservation information, stuff like that. That's the end of the CloudCheckr demo, and if you have any questions or if you're interested, please reach out to awsresell@jhctechnology.com, and we will be creating CloudCheckr accounts for you and users for you, and once we set up an administrator in your organization, that person can probably create the other users and manage groups and users and stuff like that. So thank you so much for your time.